The Sword of Night is what every DS3 katana user wanted. This weapon echoes the wonderful frayed blade of the past and brings it into Elden Ring. With this moveset and unique Ash of War, there's a couple ways to make a great build out of this weapon. This weapon is obtained by completing what may be the longest side quest in the whole DLC. Make your way to the Cathedral of Manus Meter and complete the whole quest line there. At the end of the quest, you'll give the Iris of Occultation to Jolan, and then she'll drop the sword for you. Be careful not to give her the Iris of Grace instead. This will drop the Spirit Ash instead, and lock you out of getting the sword until your next playthrough. The moveset and scaling is exactly what you'd expect from a cool new katana. We have the Serpent Bone Blade heavy attacks, and pure dexterity scaling. The Sword of Night is a somber weapon, so this means no infusions. Thing is, this is not your usual dexterity scaling. Dexterity scales up the physical damage and lightning damage on most armaments in the game. On this weapon, it scales up the physical and magical damage of your weapon. You'd expect to see some intelligence scaling on a weapon with magical damage, but that's not the case here. The magic scaling is likely due to the fact that the quest giver is a glintstone sorcerer, and the weapon's ability to damage foes that are blocking. The Ash of War is Witching Hour Slash. You hold the sword to your side for a moment, and then execute a triple slash. The triple slash can be accompanied by a waterfowl style AoE, if fully charged. Before I used this weapon, I was excited to use the Shard of Alexander and Rolana's cameo to power up this stance Ash of War, and roll through the whole game with it. That is not what happened. Turns out this is not a stance Ash of War, but a charged one. So if you want to power up your Witching Hour Slash, you'll need Godfrey's Icon instead. An Ash of War focused playthrough would do well, but I went in a different direction. Instead of maximizing Ash of War damage, I maximized consecutive attack damage. Millicent's Prosthesis, the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, and the Thorny Cracked Tear all boost this consecutive attack power. This boost comes into play starting after 3 quick hits in a row for the Katana class weapons. Luckily, we have a move that does just that. Use the Ash uncharged to get a quick boost to your attack power, and then go crazy with the R1s to get in as much damage as possible. With this boost, we can easily get that AR into the quadruple digits. Before we jump into the talismans, please do subscribe if you enjoy the JerseySide videos. My goal is to reach 2,500 subscribers by the end of the year, and it looks like we'll reach that goal much sooner than that. For our talismans, we had Millie's Prosthesis, and Rotten Wing Sword Insignia for the consecutive hit boost, the Two-Handed Sword Talisman for 15% more damage with our R1s and R2s, and the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman for optimal stamina regeneration. For some bosses in the DLC, I did slap on some defensive talismans for more survivability. Since this was a light roll build, and even busted out the buckler for Tricky Mick to give myself a few more attack openings. Our stats at RL 170 are 60 Vigor, 35 Mind, 40 Endurance, and 75 Dexterity to be bumped up to 80. If you're doing an RL 150 medium roll build, you can easily revise these down to 20 Mind and 35 Endurance. I remember in one of my katana videos how I mentioned I wanted a new frayed blade in the DLC. This edgy looking all black katana is nearly exactly what I wanted. While this weapon won't become my favorite katana anytime soon, I'm happy it's a part of the DLC and fun to use. Also, perhaps the coolest part of the weapon, there is an ever so slight sound the weapon gives off when you hold it.